This is a highly requested video on basically the only truly long-term whitening cream on the market. This is the only one. Hydroquinone does not permanently lighten you. Nothing else, not kojic acid, nothing else on the market but monobenzone. This is the most highly effective skin whitening powerhouse for patients with vitiligo. So this is studied, tried and true by doctors for patients with vitiligo. Of course, people who do not have vitiligo have also used it. And notice that I said skin whitening. This is not skin lightening. This is completely white. White, no undertone. Okay. Monobenzone has the ability to enter the bloodstream when applied topically, which is why the cream is able to lighten parts of your body that it wasn't even applied to. So that in itself is just insane. So this isn't something you use to spot treat tough to lighten areas like you would hydroquinone. Like right now, my tough to whiten areas, or lighten should I say, lighten areas are like my knees and like kind of by my armpits, just like those areas. For other people, it could be like their feet or their knuckles. You would use, like, if you really wanted something strong, you'd use hydroquinone, but you can get other things just over the counter that will also lighten those areas as well. It just takes a little bit more time, but monobenzone is not something that you would use just to like whiten one area or just like your knees or your lips or something like that, because like I said, it can get into your bloodstream. Even if you apply it in one area of your body, it can start working on the other. So yeah, you don't even have to apply this on your back. Just apply it to kind of where you can see and it'll basically do its job. You do need a prescription for monobenzone in the US, though I've seen it offered, you know, I've seen it on eBay, I've seen it where you have to like kind of order it from other countries. We're gonna make a second video talking about how to tell when it's real or when it's fake and the different variations, because there are different variations of monobenzone. If you are using monobenzone and you do not have vitiligo, this topical can cause permanent depigmentation. This is permanent. It will not come back. This is absolute lack of any color. So like I said before, no yellow undertone, no pink undertone, not like a creamy beige, like nothing. You will be albino white. Monobenzone is permanent. It permanently removes, well, it's not really like removing, it's damaging your melanocytes. So they're not going to start working again. The cells will never produce melanin again. Most of what we use are just kind of melanin inhibitors, like it inhibits the synthesis. This is going a step above that. You just literally aren't going to have the melanocytes that's going to make the melanin. Like they'll never produce melanin again. And so, I mean, this isn't reversible. So just keep that in mind. There is an exception though for people who actually have vitiligo. I've found many studies where it's trickier for them and the pigmentation may come back throughout the course of their lives. Sometimes this is after having a baby, or hormonal changes, or just random changes. What I could find is that this exception is because it's really hard to get the melanin out of hair follicles. So as long as they have hair follicles, those are usually the areas where the patches will start up again, just randomly making color. So this can be like by the underarms, on the legs, arms, growing areas. The hair follicles like that have the pigment, you would literally have to do like laser hair removal. And even laser hair removal is not completely permanent over the course of your life. There will be needed like touch-up treatments. And again, you'd have to do this all over your body. So anywhere where you produce hair, this would be on your arms, your pits, your groin, just anywhere. Or you could have this happen basically for people who have vitiligo. So going on to the types of monobenzone, well, we'll talk about the percentages. There are 4 that we know of. There's 20%, 40%, 60%, and 80%. So the different percentages, of course, give you a varying levels of whiteness. So for some of these, you can just get lightness, not necessarily white. So the 20 and 40%, you could still have like an undertone. I've heard that 40% is more of like an olive undertone, kind of like, let's say you were Spanish. It's going to be one of those. 20% would be slightly darker than that, so maybe like you're mixed race. 60% and 80%, this is where you're like completely depigmented, like just white. I've heard some people say that with 60% you can get like a slight cream undertone, but 80% like there's just no chance. It's just white, and I don't know, guys, I feel like 60 and 80, like those are just really high. like you have to want to be albino white, but hey, to each his own. I want to remind you guys that on Patreon we are starting our 30-day fall glow up. This is the perfect time to start your skincare journey. I check in multiple times a day, always having new content there. I think there's over like 250 posts on Patreon, so if you want to be a part of that, definitely sign up. I also have the 90-day skin lightening planner, and there is also like a kind of like a little checklist of like things that you need if you're just trying to get started. So this is great if you're just getting into this world and you want to know. All of that is on Patreon. Definitely go check it out, and I'd love for you guys to be a part of the 30-day glow up. Our last one went amazing, and so we're kind of stepping it up a notch for this second time. I'm going to make a part 2. Let me know if you guys have any other questions, and we'll go over the monobenzone warnings, how to tell if it's authentic, the health risks, of course, and of course there's a few different celebrities who have been rumored to be using this. We'll break down their color, what they do, how you can add a kind of like an undertone if you do notice that you're completely depigmented. We'll also break down like the different types. There's monobenzone, there's mequinol. We'll break down hydroquinone and how you can kind of compare those, what they do, and you know which would be right for you. I am so excited. My 90-day accelerated skin lightening checklist planner is now ready. This is perfect if you're struggling to keep up your routine or if you don't know where to start. Basically, this is like day by day what I did to achieve my goals within 3 months. I tell you basically everything you need to know. All you have to do is like check off the box. So I should tell you like what to take in the morning, what to take in the evening. For different weeks, you guys will be doing like coffee enemas. There are certain times where you'll be doing just different exfoliation routines. I show you or tell you about what topical I mix together. It's really affordable. This isn't like something you're gonna have to like put hundreds of dollars into, but it'll get you started. And basically these are my results doing this exact routine from basically like 3 months, like 90 days. So if you guys are interested, there is a link in the description where you can get it. I'm just so excited for this. Like I worked so hard on it, and yeah, it tells you just step by step what to do every day. You just check it off. You don't have to really think about it. And yeah, it's going to really help you achieve your goals.